Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch. Every once in a while, I talk about something else crafty, but today it is all cross stitch. I have to chuckle every time I do that intro because I do it with like one breath, and so I finish talking, and then all of a sudden I feel like I'm gasping for breath. I really need to figure out how to breathe while I'm doing that. If you are new to my station, welcome. Welcome to all this stitchy craziness. Thank you so much for pressing play and giving my channel a try, and I hope you like what you see, and you will keep coming back week to week. Subscribe, like, all the good stuff. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and chatting with me each week. I love it. I love it so much. My week would be, I don't even know, my week would just be incomplete without it, without having a chance to talk with all of you. So thank you for coming by each week and not having me just talk to nobody. Before I start with my stitching, I've started recently to highlight a Flosstube friend of Stitching by the Shore. So basically, that would be me. People that support me, friends that stitchers that support me who also have a Flosstube channel, I'd like to support you. So I've been trying to give a shout out each week, and keep coming if you have a channel and I don't know about it, so that I can keep watching, or I can watch and find some new friends. But this week is the channel that I wanted to talk about was Sarah's Stitches. So she recently wasn't sure if she was going to go to 2 weeks or one, because, you know, sometimes you feel like, do I have enough to do stuff every week? But luckily, I'm thrilled to see that she has decided that she really enjoys it and she loves doing it. So she's going to do it every week. And I am on board with that. For me, I find that this is almost like a form of self-care because I love doing this. I really enjoy it. I really love talking with all of you. So it's a way to take care of myself and just keep myself healthy and mentally well and the whole bit. So I am so thrilled that she is going to keep stitching every week. I thought of her channel this morning because I started something that falls under the lines of a sal that she is doing. So I thought, you know what? We'll talk about Sal and we'll talk about her channel. So Sarah's Stitches, I will link her down below in the description box so you get a chance to try out her channel and just find out more about her as well. So thank you for all of you. Keep coming with channels, and I just discovered somebody who commented who just started, so I can't wait to watch her and hopefully be able to tell you all about her channel as well. So that's it. That's this week's Flosstube friend. Stitching. You're here to see stitching. I have 2 finishes. I really pushed for the second finish because I was so close, and I thought, you know what, I want to have that, you know, kind of wrapped up before May and starting a whole bunch of new themed stuff. Because, you know, April has been my spring stitching. And so I've got the 2 finishes. I have 3 works in progress that I've continued on, and I have 1 teeny tiny new start. So I'll show that to you at that point. Let me grab my iPad because one of my finishes is from the Spring 2021 Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine. And I was close, so it's not going to be a surprise. So this is from Twin Peak Primitives, the pattern, and it's Even Busy Bees. This is the full pattern, which is really cute. And what does it say? Even Busy Bees Stop and Smell the Roses. So I thought that was really cute. I wanted to try that white Aida that I had bought for my full coverage. So I grabbed this, took the center part of the pattern and decided to stitch that. And here's the finish. So this is done in all the called for, I think it's all DMCs, is it? Yes. Yep, I'm looking at it. It's all DMCs. I used all the called for. I made one tiny mistake in this. It's a little squatter, shorter than it's supposed to be, but looks super cute. No idea what to do with this as a finish. This is where we talked about, and if I can decide how and what I want to create for a stitchy journal, this would be something that would go in that, because you know, I know I mentioned to a few people, like in the comments and such, we're a little bit more minimalist in our decor, and so I'm gonna keep stitching. I am never gonna have all this stuff out. It's just not happening. So I would love to have a way to be able to have all of them in a nice thing that I could just look through, you know, type of thing. And it keeps my craftiness up, because I can also kind of decorate the pages around the stitching or talk about it or do whatever I want. So that might be where this ends up. Let's talk about this fabric real quick. So this is the Caydo, C-A-Y-D-O Aida, that I wanted to give a try. I was able to get a yard of it, as I wrinkle it, I was able to get a yard of it for either $18.99 or $19.99 off of Amazon. I have to figure out how to link things from Amazon without this much junk on the link itself. It takes up way too much space, because I think I've given this enough time to say that yes, I do enjoy stitching on this as much as plain Aida. It's a little bit stiffer, but it is not as stiff and hard to use as the traditional white Aida that I've gotten elsewhere, including on Amazon. It is a little bit softer, and as you work it, it seems to soften up even more. I've not really found my hands having trouble using this, because I have the other Aida, I have to use a lot of force in order to get the needle through sometimes, because it is so stiff. I don't find that with this. The only thing that does drive me nuts is it picks up lint very easily, but that's a small price to pay. That's easy enough to clean. And there is every once in a while kind of slubbiness to it, or like, I don't want to say that so much as maybe like some of the holes kind of closed up, but okay, it's a yard for $19. So, you know, I can work around that and so on. So that's a cute stitch if you wanted to do it, even the full pattern from Twin Peak Primitives. But I do like this, and I have started my full coverage, and so far it seems to be working well. So I think I give this one a positive kind of review, so to speak. It's a nice alternative, and it is a better alternative for my hands than the traditional Aida, or whatever other brand it is. I'm just calling it traditional because I don't know. So that's the first one. The second one, I ended up putting a stitch a day for most of this week, just so or a strand a day, so I could get this one done. But it's Yonder from Hello from Liz Matthews. And those rolling hills, I just love them. I love them, the calmness of the whole piece. So here it is finished. This is done on 18 count honey from Bestitchme. And that's what it looks like. So the only thing I did change is it is charted for 310 DMC, and I changed it to Anchor Black. I just prefer the coverage a little bit better. This one, I actually really could see this one. I don't necessarily see a lot of things framed, but there's something about this one that I could see framed. It could be up at any point, and I just love, there's something about it that's just peaceful to me and calming. And that's why I could see it more of a frame and not be constantly changed out. But it's a nice stitch. It's a great pattern. If you've not done any from Hello from Liz Matthews, I would highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. So that's my second finish. Now I just have to figure out, if I do frame it, if I want to give it a little bit more of a border, because I could make it very tight and make it a 5x7. But I don't know if I want to give it a little bit of a cushion and go a little bit more. So it's to be determined. I played around with one of my tapes and finishing, and I wasn't thrilled with how it was adhering. So I'm still trying that. As soon as I have better ideas, if you're not into sticky board or hot glue, I will give you more info once I've figured it out, and I'll figure out what works and what doesn't work. Okay, works in progress. I have 3, 2 of which have been in the regular rotation, and then one I pulled back from probably 3-4 weeks ago First one from Vintage Needlearts is Lena's Fancy. I just love the colors in this one. Really do. And this is what we have. So the big flower is almost done. This is done on an 18 count Summer Storm from To Die For fabrics. I am using all DMCs. This does have variegated that it is called for, but I think it looks quite lovely with the DMC. They're great colors. They're really nice colors. And yeah, so I worked my way here and slowly worked the flower down. The flower itself, it's a 2-page pattern because she really enlarges the patterns, which is lovely. The only thing that I want to warn you about is there's no, you know how in some multiple page patterns, there's the shaded area, which is a repeat, which you may like or may not like. I don't know. I usually find it useful. She doesn't do that. But because the pattern is large and enlarged, I can, and she's got every 10 marked, 10, 20, 30, 40 in both directions. So it's very easy to figure out, okay, if I'm on this page and I'm on this page, where I am. So that's the one thing I warn you about if you've not used any of Teresa's patterns, but they're very easy to read, and the symbol is always, she just uses letters, and so it's very clear to tell which symbol it is. But that's Lena's Fancy. And then the only thing I'm going to change down here, I'm not going to put the date. I'll just put another one of those yellowish floral motifs when I get there. But the big part was this flower because there's a lot of colors in the flower. So I'm chugging along. So that's Lena's Fancy. Second, this is the one I pulled out. I pulled out my fairy, my Bells of Ireland from Nora Corbett. I wanted to stitch some flowers this week, and so I am working. I have to look on which side it is. Backwards. It's this side that I'm working on for the flowers, and it just kept plugging along on that. So I had part of this flower done, but I had a bunch to fill in, and then this whole flower I pretty much had to tackle, and then I'm coming down here. So this is, there's probably about 6 or 7 colors in this one, in these flowers. So there's a lot of different changes, but it looks pretty when you put it all together. And what's funny is separate, some of the colors I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'd like them. But when you put them all together, I really like how it looks. This is done on an 18 count beach glass, and that's from Vintage Needlearts. So the same company that Lena's Fancy, the pattern came from, she also does some other things, and this is fabric from her. And so I have way too much on the other side, but this is what it looks up in a big piece, and this is what it looks up close. This does have, you'll see a lot of the empty spaces. This does have beads, so that will be something I'll tackle later on when I figure out what I'm doing. But this is my first time doing a Nora Corbett, and I'm really enjoying it. I really do like it. So that's that. And then the last one, let me show you the original online because it's a digital, there it is. It is the Spring Daisies from Croccette Gogo. There it is. I really, really enjoy this one. And let me show you where I am. Look. So I did do part of the outline border because I wanted to make sure it would line up, and it does. So even at this part, I'm pretty sure everything is lining up quite fine. So I think it'll be fine. It would be easy to fudge that if I absolutely had to, but everything lines up perfectly. So I definitely wanted to get more into the greens. So I've been jumping back and forth. I think, there's another flower up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 flowers. So there's one up here and I think one down here. So I still have things to do over there, but I really wanted to get some of the green done. Now I wanted to show you, if you want to see the full green, where is it? Here we go, on Instagram. Okay, apparently you can't keep things saved. There we go. Coastal Girl Creates on Instagram is also stitching this, And I wanted to show you, she did all the green first. So look at hers. Look at how pretty all of that looks. Now she started the border. But she did all the green and she's working her way up and doing the border. And hers is done on a lighter color and look how pretty it looks. It's gorgeous. So if you don't want to go as dark as I did on the fabric, you can do lighter and it looks lovely. So that's Coastal Girl Creates. I can link her down below. She's got a great Instagram. But here for me, I used 18 count Moroccan clay from Color and Cotton. And I am really, really loving this one. I'm trying to figure out, for May, I do want to keep, yes, I'm starting a new theme, but I want to keep at least once a week, at least one spring stitch. I love all of them. I'm not sure which one will be the one that I keep up, but at least one of them will. I know that for a fact because I want to keep it going. I like my flowers. I'm really enjoying stitching my flowers, I have to say. Okay, then we have one new start. This week is actually a Vintage Needlearts week because this is a pattern from Vintage Needlearts. If you were with me last year, you would have seen the first one in the series that I stitched. It was sometime in the spring, I don't remember exactly. I didn't look to see when I started and finished it. This is a 4-part series, as far as I know right now, it's called the Buttonwood Farm series. This is number 2. So basically we follow this little cow through Buttonwood Farm, which is a real place in Connecticut. It is a farm that in the summer they plant thousands of sunflowers. I believe it's sunflowers, and yeah, sunflower patch. And there's a time of year you can go visit. I've never gotten the chance to be there right before all the sunflowers get cut and everything, but I really do. I don't know if I'll be around in Connecticut this year when I think it's usually in July. I have to look it up. Maybe I'll look it up and see. I don't know if they'll be doing it this year. Maybe because it's an outdoor activity. But we follow the cow through different adventures. And in this one, it's called Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Moo, because the cow likes to eat the flowers. Now, Sarah's stitches, her Sal is, what's the hashtag? It's a cow. Stitching till the cows come home, Sal. Oh, help me out. If you're doing it. I don't remember. I'll look it up though. Basically, it's the Stitch Anything cow related because I guess this year in Expo, there were a lot of cow themed patterns. So she is working with Kim J Inspired. Kim sadly is not doing her Flosstube anymore, but she has a great Instagram and she also has a Facebook page that you can follow her adventures in stitching as well as travel and so on and so forth. So if you want to follow Kim, I will link her below as her Instagram. But they had started this Sal with anything with cows. So I said, you know what? I'm going to jump in. I don't have much. I have one little cow face. That's it. So this is done on 18 count Nantucket Sky from Fabrics by Stephanie. Like the last time, and I'm going to show you, I pulled out the last one. If you see here, this almost reminds me of like a sky over the cow. Well, it was done on something much, kind of brownish, tannish, so I could see why. But doing it on this, I felt there was no reason to have that stitched up. So this is the one I did last year. I can't remember the name of it now. I should have looked at the pattern, but it is part 1 of the Buttonwood Farm series. And I totally, and again, I probably will wait. I've got 3 of these. I don't have all 4. I'll probably wait till they're all done and figure out what I want to do. But in finishing it, I will not do this tight. I will leave a portion of the sky so that you will see sky above the cow. This one is not quite as variegated up here up top, but it's not too bad. So I will continue to do the same thing. This cow is now, actually, I think we ended up calling the cow Daisy. I think in the last series though, the cow, I don't know if it's a male or female, but the cow is actually eating one of the flowers. So that was the whole idea of this one in the series. So the first one, the cow is just standing amongst the flowers. In this one, the cow will chomp some of the flowers. So that's my cow stitching pattern. And again, I need to look up the hashtag for the sow so that I can join it. That's my stitching for this week. I talked a long time about my stitching. Plans. What do I have for plans? I am doing and now when I do Mania for May, I'm not one of those who are starting 31 pieces in May, or even, okay, it's 2021, 21 pieces in 2021. I don't do that. Last year I started 4. I did 1 a week. This week it might be, or this month or year, it might be 5 or 6, because I can't decide which one I want to pull out if I don't do one of these starts. Again, 1 a week, maybe a couple of the weeks throw in an extra start. I also want to pull out a couple of my works in progress that are either autumn or Halloween themed, because that is what my mania for 2021 is. It's going to be an autumn / Halloween theme with a little spring stitching in, because it is May and I need to stitch the season I'm in, because I can't give up my flowers right now. I'm enjoying my flowers too much. So the choices of things that I want to stitch. The first one is Cinnamon Stars from Plum Street Samplers. You're all like, we know who does this one, Laura. You don't need to tell us. I also would like to pull out Betsy's Autumn. That's a work in progress I've got going. And I'm stitching this one. I looked at the flosses on the fabric that I'm using for Betsy's Autumn. I'm going to use the same fabric on this one. They kind of feel like companion pieces to me. So I thought that would be nice doing them on the same color fabric. And luckily enough, whatever size fat quarter I had, there was enough. I hadn't used it for anything else. So the other half I can use for this one. So Cinnamon Stars, I'm finally gonna start it. I know so many of you have stitched it, and I've missed that train a long time ago. Also, from Little Stitch Girl, Autumn Avenue. Isn't that cute? That is just so cute. And I know some of you want to stitch this one, so get your stuff ready. I don't have specific dates I'm starting any of these. You know, I don't have that plans that are that exact. I don't even know what day next week I'm going to start one of these. Like, am I going to do May 1st? Am I going to do Mondays? I don't know. I'm not really sure. But I do want to start this one. So that is definitely another one. And I know some of you will be stitching this along in May as well. So I'm super excited about that. Then you know I have to have a Satsuma. I actually did a Satsuma last Mania. This one is called Forest. I have always enjoyed this one. It's just sat for a while with me deciding, you know what, it's time to start. So I think in May, I would really like to. Obviously, a forest can be any theme, but given the colors that she chose, it definitely screams autumn to me. So those 3 are physical patterns. Then I have 2 digitals to show you. Let's see. So the first one, where is it? Oh, here we go. Come on. This one is from Hemlock and Rye Stitchery. I'm doing the Salem houses. Now, she has 2 versions. It can say Halloween in Salem, or, and I think I'm going to say it right, Samhain in Salem. I know that's not how it looks phonetically, but I'm almost sure. Of course, I plan on stitching them in a row like I did her Nantucket houses. I'm not going to do any words. I'm actually just going to do the fence all the way across. So with Nantucket, I had the fence, I connected all the houses with the fence through, but it was closer on the house. This one, the fences are in front, and I'm just going to have one long fence in front type of thing. So it's like you're walking in front of these houses and you have one long fence. But I am going to do them as a group. So I need to do some math and figure out what I'm doing there. So that's the first of the digital ones that I wanted to show you. All right, let me X out of that. And then the other one, I almost forgot I had this one. That's the thing about digital patterns sometimes. And I happened to see it on Etsy. I'm like, oh, I have that one. And so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it for Mania. And it's called Autumn Town from Autumn Lane Stitchery. I just love the colors. I love the little look of the town, everything about it. Now, if you look at this, the blue is stitched, but all that green is not. They used, I think the fabric they used was called Apple. And so that made sense. Possibly do it in a green. And I do think I am. I had second thoughts because I think it was on the Bestitchme Facebook page because she used a really bright yellow of Brandy's and she stitched this. And I have to say, it looked phenomenal. Even though there's some bright yellows here, it still showed up. And it really, really looked good. But I do plan on, and I'm gonna use the same green. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm gonna use two different greens. But this one is going to go in a light green. So I'd like to keep that one in the same color palette rather than having this. This would pretty much scream one color palette and it's not gonna go with, it would be such a bright yellow, it wouldn't go with the yellow that this is gonna be on. And so I think I'm going with the green. But I did hem and haw and I did pull out an option, but I'm going with my traditional and going with the green. So those are the 5 that I am considering. Forest, Autumn Avenue, Cinnamon Stars, the Salem piece from Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. I will link this Gumroad site though, because I have something else to show you. And then Autumn Town from Autumn Lane Stitchery. I am bringing back Betsy's Autumn from Plum Street Samplers as well. That started. And then, I don't know if you remember, I've been working on the Halloween calendar from, is it Tiny Modernist? Possibly. I am not doing it as a full calendar. I am doing each one separately. The final finish to be determined. I have a few different ideas swirling in my head for that. So I might pull that out and try to get a day or two. I'm using 3 different fabrics and I'm rotating each day which color fabric it's going to be. So I think I want to try to maybe pull that out as well. So that would be potentially two works in progress with the 5 new starts. So that's 7. So maybe I find one more potentially and have like 2 a week, whether it's a work in progress or a new start, and kind of rotate that way. I don't know. We'll see. You know, it comes down to, what do I feel this morning? I'm woken up, what do I feel like doing? And that answers all my stitching questions. But that's my mania. And I'm not going super crazy, and maybe they don't even all get started. I don't know. I like having the works in progress, the whips. So I don't mind starting it, and then come the fall, I know I'm gonna wanna stitch on these, whether it's September or October. So they're not gonna go languishing in the corner. They will, they'll get time. The other thing I did do was I figured out how to get my full coverage into my iPad. And I figured that out, although it did give me an option to do it in Dropbox, which I do have. So I have to see how that works, because that's also an option, because that would carry over devices. So more thoughts on that if I can figure that out. But I did put in 3 strands this week on that, but you're not gonna notice any difference. So I will probably try to do that periodically, put in some strands, and then maybe once a month. If I've faithfully done that, I'll show you an update of it. You're not gonna notice any difference in the 3 strands that I put in from the last time. But I did do a little bit of work on that as well. So that's my plans and my stitching. Let's talk Happy Mail. I got this in the mail and it was the sweetest thing. I love it. This is actually, it says the Maine Coast. It's a lovely card from Lauren, one of my Canadian friends. And I can't remember where though. I am so sorry. I can't remember. Look what she made me. She made me a scissor fob. This is gorgeous. It's the first time she's made it, the first time she's done cording. it looks like she's done it for ages. And it's two sides. So look at this on this side. Lately she's been stitching bees, so it's a bee theme. And then look at this side with initials and a little charm. And it is, I said to her, it's perfect. You'd think you've been doing these for years and years. And the cording looks so good. I need to figure out how to do that. But how lovely is that? So thank you so much, Lauren. I was blown away how beautiful and how gorgeous this is. And I never even noticed. She's got an L-O on this side. See, when you look at these things more and more, oh my goodness, I love it. So thank you, Lauren. This is going, I think I'm gonna put it in a place of honor somewhere, and just, because it's just, I love it. It is so cute and so dainty, and I really appreciate that. All right, that was my happy mail this week. Shopping, tiny, 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 tiny. Hardly any at all. So after last week's Fabric Fest, you're not seeing hardly anything. And then we can move on to all the other stuff. I did get my Fabric of the Month, the April Fabric of the Month from Bestitchme. I am in the standard club, not the neutrals. So if that's what you're in and you do not want to see it, turn away. I'm going to show it now. Me, I actually like spoilers. I always look when there's spoilers. Look at this. I'm going to show you the name. I don't know if that would really give it away, because to me, that name doesn't really speak this color, but look at how pretty this is. Super, super pretty. I really like it quite a bit. That's the April. The I've seen the neutral one that she sent this month, and it's pretty too. I have some of it, I think. I don't know if it's Through the Stones. I'm not sure, but it's a nice one. And yeah, that is April Bestitchme. Okay, it's gone. You can look again. And what else did I get? One other thing. Oh, I was talking Julie, Hemlock and Rye Stitchery. Let me go back to that site. So she's done the Christmas houses, which were her Nantucket, and she's done the Halloween, which is Salem. Now she's traveled to Williamsburg. Let me see if I can turn it this way. Look at these. Look at how pretty these are. So it's funny because I subscribe to her channel, and so I get pop-up, you know, obviously when somebody's channel is published, or a video is published, you know, you get notifications or whatever. And so I have all the front pictures of everybody's videos that I can look at. And so this popped up, and this was the cover picture. And I knew, and I think she made mention of the new houses. I didn't watch the video beforehand. I immediately went to Hemlock and Rye and picked up these spring houses because they are so pretty. She makes the best houses. I love her houses. Now this one, they look kind of cute separate. I don't know if I would continue my theme of stitching them all three together. It's a thought. There is in one of the houses a cute, teeny tiny little picket fence, smaller than what's in the Christmas ones. So maybe if I do them that way, I may carry a cute little picket fence along the way. We'll see. But that is, what is it called? I think it's just called, is there a way to, Spring in Williamsburg is the pattern there, and I will link that down below. That's it. That's all I bought, those two pieces. I don't know if I have any Fabric of the Months coming. I might have gotten an email from Color and Cotton. I'm not sure on that. I think they're finally catching up. So even though I recently got one, that was might have been March. So I think now she might be caught up and getting everything out. So I might be getting one not too long since I recently got one. We'll see. That's it for shopping though. Very little. And I don't, at the moment, have a lot coming. We'll see what happens. That can always change. Giveaways. Let's talk giveaways. So I literally, when you say you can't give something away, I literally can't seem to give these away. I'm on my second winner at this point, and I will give you one more week because I do give 2 weeks. So Rhonda Wise, I believe I'm saying that right. You were chosen as last week as the winner of these 2 28 count, I counted, so I think I counted right. I believe they're 28 counts, pieces of fabric. I might even iron that out. I should have ironed that. I'll iron that. But you have one more week. If I do not hear from you, you can either email me at the Gmail address down below or send me a message through Instagram. If I don't hear before next video, which will most likely be next week, I will pick a third winner. And one of these days, I'll get these sent out to somebody. So that's old business. Now, let's talk about last week. This was what we were going for. It was the adorable sunflower. I don't know if this is big enough. No, it's not. You know what? This might be. The adorable sunflower needle minder. This I got from Mad for Minders. Super cute bicycle with the flowers in the front. And let me mix up the names. Thank you so much for everybody who played along with me and answered my question. Let's see. Who is going to win this? I've got one name. Who is it? Audrey Fleming. So Audrey, if you could please, as I mentioned before, send me your address either through stitchingbytheshore@gmail.com. It's down below, or Instagram, Paper Laura, which is also listed below if you need to see the link. I'm gonna put this by the magnets so your name doesn't get lost. There we go. And I'll send it out to you as soon as I hear from you. What I always say, and I remind everybody, if you reach out to me and you have not heard within 2-3 days tops of me acknowledging your email or your DM or whatever it is, for some reason it's gotten lost. So please reach out again. Also, when you watch videos and say you're watching the video where your name is called, and if you comment and say, I sent you an email, then I know to look for it as well. And that way, if for whatever reason it did get lost, then I can basically reach out to you, because then I know you sent something, and Gmail was just acting strange, however it does sometimes. So that is from last week. This week, it's a cute little pattern to finish off my spring themed month, especially of flowers. And this is from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. And it's Let Your Heart Sing. How cute is that? Hopefully it's focusing well. Super, super cute. Beautiful flowers. So that is the pattern that I'm going to give away for this coming week. Couple of the rules, because I always forget. Please be 18 or older so that I can legally get your address so you can give it to me and I can send it to you. Please don't say giveaway or free, just because this way we have stitchers and not people just looking for giveaways getting the fun stuff here. And I would love it if you'd be a subscriber. You don't have to be a public subscriber. I take your word for it, but I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. And as always, when I choose names, I give 2 weeks. And if I don't hear from you in 2 weeks, then I choose another name. Those are all my rules. That's it. So what are we talking about this week? 2 things. Obviously, you answer a question and you say a word. The question this week, and actually I was thinking about this morning, and I got a couple of chuckles as to what my answers are. As a child, what was your favorite game? It could be a board game, it could be outdoor game, it could be card game, it could be whatever. I was thinking about it. So board game, we played Life all the time. I can't even tell you how much we played that. So that has to have been the favorite board game that we used to all play. Card game, now I think I have this right. I don't even know how to play anymore. What's the one with the 2 decks? Is it canasta? If that's the one, we played that. Oh, we were always playing that for cards. Forget Goldfish, we were playing that. I think that's the one. What's the one that uses 2 full decks of cards? And then outdoors, when there was either a bunch of us, it was freeze tag. It had to be freeze tag. And then, you'd have to climb through people's legs to unfreeze them or all that good stuff or whatever. Or if there was a smaller group of us, it was either horse because one of the friends had a basketball hoop. So we didn't play basketball, we just played horse. Or 7-Up. We all had carports, so if you pulled the car out of the carport, you know, you'd have the open area in my neighborhood when we grew up. So we'd play 7-Up against the wall of the carport, the house wall. So those are all the games that I was thinking about, whether it's indoors or outdoors, that as a kid we really enjoyed playing and we did a lot. So tell me, what was your favorite game as a child? And if you'd like to be entered into the giveaway, because you can just answer the question for fun. I love it when you guys do, because again, we just get to know each other that way. If you'd like to enter your name into the giveaway to receive this really pretty pattern, answer the question and say the word park, P-A-R-K. The reason why I thought about that was yesterday was kind of a dreary, kind of off sort of day. And even though it wasn't very nice, I drove, there's a beautiful park right on the edge of between my town and then Hartford, which is capital, Connecticut. And I just did it, even though it was a little drizzly, I walked around and they have a huge tulip garden area that is completely bloomed right now. It's a rose garden, so in June, it's the most beautiful thing you'll ever see. It's beautiful. And then they also do other flowers on other parts. And I was walking underneath a tree. I took a couple pictures. I might try to put one up on Instagram at some point. And it smelled so pretty. And it was these beautiful little flowers. And it was just an umbrella of flowers over your head. So that made me think of the word. I said, you know what? This week the word is going to be park. Because the park completely lifted my spirits and all the beautiful flowers, even on the rainy, drizzly day, which is exactly what I needed. So that's the word plus the question. Your favorite game as a child. And that's all I have stitchy-ish wise. So if you are heading off before the life stuff, then have a fabulous weekend and week. And if you're doing mania, I can't wait to hear about what you're doing and seeing stuff. If we're Instagram friends and all that good stuff, or always, if you're not on these things, but you want to send me an email to the Gmail account, which I know some people do sometimes, I love it. I love to see everybody stitching. So feel free. But yeah, that's that. So this week, life-wise, Connor is at college, but I didn't ask him before he went to school if I could say it. So we'll need to wait. We'll wait till next week. But he did choose. The money has been sent to reserve his spot, and he is officially a college student-ish until he's not graduated yet. But so that was exciting. We bought them, we got him a sweatshirt. So you know how they always have in high school the day, sometime after May 1st. I don't even know when it is, but sometime after May 1st when, you know, all the kids have to have their choices. They can wear t-shirts, sweatshirts, or whatever of the college of their choice. So we got him the sweatshirt and he's good to go. So when I get the approval from him, I will let you all know. It's a Connor week actually, because Sunday is his birthday. My little baby, oh, I should have brought pictures. He was like this big roly-poly, is 18. He will be 18 years old on Sunday, and I can't believe it. I can't believe both my children will be 18. They'll be adults. Oh. So ironically, we're really not celebrating with him this weekend because he is the stage manager for his theater at high school, as well as in charge of the sets and crew. He does double duties. And this year, because of the pandemic, they can't do the traditional musical. They're actually filming a movie. They're doing the movie version of Clue. And so this weekend is crazy. I think filming starts. He's in charge of blocking and all that. I don't understand it all. Plus, I don't know if the sets are even finished. So there is some set making possibly going on as well. So we will not see him this weekend. He will be gone both days all weekend. So we won't do a formal celebration of his birthday, but he's going to be a big kid now, so to speak, an actual adult. I can't believe it. But anyway, that's it. There's really not much else going on. We, as you know, we're the world's worst planters. We picked up a couple. Our front, the bushes never seem to do well. 2 of them really didn't make it, so we just picked up a couple boxwoods that went into the ground yesterday. So I think this weekend there'll be some weeding and some mulching possibly going on. just to spruce it up a little bit, because I am not talented that way in the least. But yeah, that's about it. So I hope you're well. I hope you're safe, and I hope you're getting lots of stitching, lots of stitchy time in. Until next time, happy stitching.